There we go. Welcome, everyone, to the OG, the original version of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts of the show. And to my right is a man who is not fired from the Atlanta Falcons after this Sunday's performance in Carolina, Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing today?
I was not fired, but I was told I got to move from the press box down to the sideline. I'm not sure what that's about. You know, I can call plays just fine from up in the press box, but you know, that's, I guess, Coach Morris. He feels the change will help bring some motivation to the team. So I'm all for it. But other than that, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
It took my streamline stapler. You know, I in the green room we're talking about this. I'm hoping this just fall allergies, but I'm hoping I didn't get sick already. So
yeah, hopefully not.
It's a consequence of doing stuff on the weekend, and you know, it's fun. But anywho, we're going to talk about everything that was notable to us in week 3 of the NFL. But before we do that, we just want to remind you to please, where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, there we go. Please follow us on social media. That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. And also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and that includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and Podbean, which is our host. And hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when live shows go up, like this one, or Just End the Suffering, which is my Jets podcast. When you
so the name change is official, huh?
Name change is official. It's just Endure the Suffering. Sorry, yeah. Just Endure the Suffering. So you know when live shows go up, when we're live, when there's show announcements, or if there's any video clips that go up, and you want to get notified about it. On the podcast side, rate, review, comment, a 5-star rating would be helpful. Leave a review on podcast platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Good Pods. And also, if you're on Spotify, leave us a comment. We'll read all your comments. We'll read your reviews. You can also comment during the show, the live show, which is on the No Credentials Required YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Catch us tomorrow afternoon on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel. This will be there. Leave us a comment. We're a live show Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, and the occasional odd shows here and there, like last Saturday night was when we previewed week 2. We've got some comments rolling in the comment section already. But Dustin, you know, I'm a little down in terms of my hopefully it's just allergies. Hopefully it's just allergies, but this sound always seems to pick me up every time I'm feeling blue.
Oh man, read some comments, you'll be feeling fine. Listen to the chimes. It's chime time.
Indeed it is. And indeed, we've got some comments already. Desi joining us as always from Alabama, saying sports ball. Wonka the Sane saying missed more games than I'd like to have had, but I watched Annie Agar, so I'm all caught up. All right.
Yeah. I watch Annie too for the recaps. It's always pretty funny.
And Desi coming in with chime time. Yes, it is chime time. And well, it was chime time. But we're going to talk about week 3 in the NFL. A lot happened this week. It was a roller coaster. If you caught the games, whether you watched on your local Fox or NBC or CBS affiliate and NBC afterwards, which that Sunday night game was an absolute dud. I hope you smashed the under in that game. And there's consequences from that game, which will eventually be brought up in conversation. But yeah, or you watched on Red Zone, or you were at your local sports bar like I was down at the factory watching not only my Jets game, but which I streamed on a TV, but also on the other televisions at the factory, wonderful establishment in Ballston Spa in New York. It was definitely a roller coaster ride. There were a lot of things that happened this week that were just makes you smile when you think of this league. We joke about the league being scripted, Or is it? We talk about the league being scripted, but you can't. This stuff you can't write up. You cannot write up the special teams play, the defensive plays that happen, all the offensive theatrics. Everything that happened this week is just absolute. I love it. I love this. And this is what makes NFL so fun. So we're going to start off week 3 of the NFL with our most entertaining game. And Dustin, I saw in the rundown you did not write anything.
No.
So I have a feeling that we're on the same wavelength in terms of the most entertaining game of the week.
Yeah. I mean, I was entertained by that Monday night game. It was an offensive game, which I liked, but the Lions defense showed out. But there was nothing better than what you wrote down, in my opinion, because the rest of the games, I'm going to kind of give a shout out to, I think it was Bill Simmons that coined this phrase many years ago. He said it was the Kaiser Soze effect. And I feel that this week of the NFL season, a lot of the games were not that entertaining until the end or the second half. There were a lot of games that the drama picked up in the fourth quarter. Your Jets game among them. Initially it looked like it was going to be just a bad time for the Jets, but then that fourth quarter happened. They came back, and the player jumped the line clean there, blocked he blocked the kick, and then off to the races. But a lot of games were like that this year, this week. So really, the only pick for my money was the one that you picked. So I'm going to let you take it away on that one.
All right, let's talk about this game. Watching it amongst the other games that were on the televisions at my local watering hole. Yet another game of the year of the week candidate. This is what I'm going to call this segment, most entertaining game. I think we need to rebrand it as game of the year of the week.
Yeah. A shout out to old Aquatine Hunger Forcer Carl. I think it was Scott Van Pelt. His old radio show used to have the lock of the century of the week from Carl there.
There you go. Game of the year of the week.
There we go.
It was Rams Eagles. I mean, come on. I had my eye in this game from the get-go. This is a clash of the Titans. This is a rematch of last year's divisional, which saw the Eagles win and advance to the NFC Championship that they hosted and eventually won. And then eventually they went on to win the Super Bowl. This was going to be a classic regardless of what happened. Rams took a big lead, a 19-7 lead at the half. At one point during the game, I think it was at halftime of this game, the Rams allowed only 33 yards to the Eagles.
Yeah.
At halftime. I mean, or sometime before the half. It was just an astounding number. Their defense was playing lights out. I mean, this offense of the Eagles was handcuffed, chained to a radiator, put in a box somewhere where top men could look at it. Top men, Lois. whatever you can come up with for adjectives. This Rams team was just incredible on both sides of the ball. They're moving the ball. They were stopping the Eagles cold in their tracks. And in the third quarter, they go up 26-7. You think to yourself, wow, this is just an incredible effort by the Browns. And then Skip Bayless, 19 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, writes this on Twitter. Rams are making a statement at Philadelphia. Our turn. We are the NFL's best. Bye, Eagles, bye. End quote. That was at 2:19 p.m. And at that point, it was pretty much, I think it might have gone to halftime at that point, or it was just about to go to halftime at that point.
Yeah, and I think it might have been 19-7 at that point, or maybe even maybe even more.
Yeah. So Rams go up. They go up big, 26-7, and then when the third quarter comes around, the rally starts to go. And after that touchdown, in the third quarter that saw the Rams go up by 19. The doom music hit, and the Eagles started to make their ascent. Scored a touchdown, makes it 26-14. They then force a punt, go for another touchdown, and he's go for a 13-yard drive. 87 yards, 6 minutes and 27 seconds. 26-21. You think to yourself, oh man, this has the makings of an absolute classic. The Rams are, this is a monumental collapse.
Yeah.
If this keeps up for the Rams. Fourth quarter comes around. That was in the third quarter. It was ended 26-21. Rams get the ball, 8 plays. They go for it on 4th and 1 at Philly's 46. They lose a yard, and then it goes back to the Eagles. They go for 4 plays, try to go for a 4th down at the 50, and they're stopped. Rams get the ball back. They drive down the field. They get to the 18-yard line of Philadelphia, go for a field goal. Jalen Carter blocks a field goal. The first, and we're not even done yet. That's not even the kick, the block that makes the game. Jalen Carter blocks a field goal. Ball goes to the 18-yard line. We start from there. 17 plays later. This is with 8:42 left in the game. 17-play drive by the Eagles in 6 minutes and 54 seconds, capped off by Jalen Hurts' 4-yard touchdown pass to Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. They go for 2. 2-point conversion fails, so they're up by 1, 27-26. Rams get the ball back. And again, too much time left on the clock. Because Matthew Stafford goes to work. 10-play drive.
Yep.
They get to Philly's 26-yard line, try another field goal, and Jalen Carter does it again. Blocks the field goal, then runs it 61 yards to the other end zone, and that is the icing. That is the cherry on top of the icing of the crap cake that was the fourth quarter. That was actually the from the 8 minutes of the second half onward, from the third quarter onward for the Rams.
Yeah.
Because they were outscored from that point 26-0.
No, I don't know what Nick Sirianni said at the half, but it must have worked. And the other thing is, okay, not taking pot shots at Skip Bayless, that's too easy to do. And I won't say he was not the only one to do this, but all these people on social media and stuff, they got to learn. Wait till the game's over. Wait till the game's over, unless you're live tweeting the game or whatever you want to do. Or you're doing alternative play-by-play like our friend of the show, Snowman, often does. Mm-hmm. But wait until the game is over before you make these proclamations, because I'm going to tell you, this is exactly what we said on our preseason prediction show. We talked about how many offensive weapons the Eagles have, and I'm going to take 2 fingers and point them right to this guy, because I am wrong about a lot of stuff. So far, my Ravens pick, not looking too good, but it's early, but not looking too good. But here is the thing. I said that Saquon would regress this season. I said that his last season was so good that he's bound to regress. And guess what? Saquon's been basically a non-factor to start the season. It's been true. He hasn't had a great start. Quietly, he has not had a great start. But here is the thing. The Eagles have so many other options, because guess who woke up this game? A.J. Brown, who Eagles fans were saying, hey, we got to get him more involved. Dallas Goedert has been making big catches. I believe his touchdown was the start of that comeback. And then you got Devonta Smith. They just have too many options. And, oh, guess what? Jalen Hurts can still move. So, yeah, this is exactly – people need to be careful about forecasting the Eagles' demise. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep, precisely. And I think that Skip did out of spite because because of his years covering the Cowboys, being in the same division as the Eagles. Probably you got something against the Eagles, that's for sure. But yeah, Skip. Good lord, man. All right, all right. We're gonna move on to the biggest upset of the week, and I've had my share of words in the game of the year of the week segment, Dustin. So I'm gonna hand it over to you. What was your biggest upset for week 3 of the NFL?
Well, to me, there was one answer, and I felt bad. There was a couple surprising outcomes, but to me, there was none more surprising than this. The Browns beating the Packers. That's the one for me. I mean, the Packers, you cannot. The Browns defense, first of all, I think statistically they were one of the leading defenses in the league heading into that game.
Yeah.
So we all knew that the Browns defense was still good, but nobody saw this coming. They shut down Josh Jacobs. He was a non-factor in this game. 30 yards on 16 carries, 1.9 yard per average. That's not good. And they also picked off Jordan Love, but they were able to sack him too. They got after him. They sacked him 5 times in this game. And they really just, even Micah Parsons said after the game, he said, sometimes you just, I'm going to censor what he said, but he said, sometimes you just mess the bed, on the big stage. And that's what happened here. But the Packers offense couldn't get anything going against that Browns defense. And it was a struggle for them all day. That Browns defense came to play. That Browns defense came to prove some things. That Browns defense still has some playmakers. And you know what? Joe Flacco, and most importantly, rookie, their first-round draft pick, Quinshon Judkins, he's the starter now in Cleveland. He rushed for 94 yards against this Packer defense, this world-beating Packer defense to start the season. And he scored a touchdown. So he gave their running game a little bit of a spark here. And the Browns defense played such a great game that the Browns offense needed to do just enough, and they win by a field goal. And to me, what is the biggest upset of the season so far?
Yeah. Desi in the chat is asking you a question. What does Jerry think of Ski-Up's incorrect premonition of the Eagles' demise?
Well, he's always been a fine reporter. He's been very complimentary of the Cowboys. He's a loyal supporter. People say he's biased. No, I just think he's a loyal man, a fine football mind, and I don't like the Eagles either. I tried to get them kicked out of the league, but it didn't work. And I offered Howie Roseman a whole bunch of money to come and run this team, but then I realized I would have to take off my GM hat, and I'm not ready to do that.
I'm surprised he didn't say loyal subject. He was a loyal subject of the Cowboys for so many years. I'm so sad that he's at Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, he did some great reporting for me during my playing days when I played football for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
And he also got helped take the bloom off the rose with for SMU during the Pony Express.
Yeah,
put the focus back on the Cowboys, but he wasn't the owner then, so
no,
he's still trying to find some oil.
Who was that? That was Bum Bright was the owner back in those days.
So.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. And Desi reacting, loyal subject. All right, as for me, biggest upset: Panthers over Falcons. What is up with the 2020s version of the Atlanta Falcons? 1 week, they look like the contenders. Last Sunday night against the Vikings, they absolutely shut them down. Looked great. Looked absolutely fantastic. Took the Buccaneers all the way to the end. And they looked pretty good in the first 2 games. Then they go to Carolina for Carolina's home opener, and they get skunked. And this was arguably the ugliest game of the week, period. of the week period because both teams it scored the show. It showed on the score sheet. I'm not talking about just the final score, 30-0 for the Panthers. But the Falcons actually outgained the Panthers by over 100 yards, Dustin. 332 to 224.
Oh, man.
Bryce Young looked pedestrian, but that's okay. He played relatively mistake-free football. No turnovers. Ran for a touchdown, as did Chuba Hubbard. Jealous of anyone who has him on their fantasy roster. But look at in the flip side, Michael Penix Jr., he's still struggling. He's struggling a little bit. Even after that first series he had in the home opener against the Buccaneers, ever since then it's been kind of a struggle for him. Throws 2 interceptions, one of them being an awful pass, an awful pass. And I'm bringing up my jersey here. Awful pass inside their own 15. Got picked off by Chow Smith-Wade, returning 11 yards for a pick 6. And I know I talk about my Jets fandom and how much suffering we go through. Just endure the suffering every Monday, 8:45 p.m. But I don't know how you can, and not to ask Stacey Morgan, who runs the Morgan Man podcast. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
covers both Call of Duty gaming, esports, also a prospective esports owner, and he covers the Atlanta Falcons. He does so passionately. I just have to ask him how you could be a fan of this team for such a long time.
Yeah.
And just continue to get disappointment. I know they've been in a couple of Super Bowls. I would love to see my Jets go to a Super Bowl some year. And in fact, it was the year that the Falcons went to the Super Bowl. They beat the Vikings in the AFC Championship. The Jets played the Broncos in the AFC Championship game, and we're one half away from going and meeting the Falcons in that Super Bowl. But man, like I said, I talk about my Jets fandom, how we're cursed and we're just going through a lot of suffering, but I don't understand. I just got to ask Atlanta Falcons fans, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it with such expectation? And this team was supposed to be a growing team. They're growing together. You know, they bring in
Raheem Morris.
All those Raheem Morris as your head coach, but you see, even with all the stuff, all the picks that the Atlanta Falcons have accumulated on this team, especially on offense, they're not coming together.
Yeah, it's not materializing.
No, it ain't, and it's just very. I don't know. Like I said, I Falcons fan. How do you feel? How do you feel about this loss after this loss? You're going in confident after that big win in Minnesota. Like, oh, that's the Panthers. They're not a good team. No, not the first 2 weeks, no. But in this game, you made them look good.
Yeah, they showed up, and I think you bring up a great point, Ryan. Because somebody I went to school with, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but Rich, growing up with him, he was a huge Falcons fan, stuck by him through everything. And I mean, he didn't have high hopes. I remember him telling me that when Chris Chandler was the quarterback of that Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl, he didn't have high hopes, but they got there. And the Falcons have always had good players. I mean, you go back, they had Jamal Anderson, they had
Dirty Birds, Chris Chandler, Andre Rison, back in that time, did Deion Sanders.
Yep, Deion Sanders. Then you talk about the next era, Michael Vick. Michael Vick, and then obviously we know what happened off the field, but his football career got put on hold, and he acknowledges too. He acknowledges if you watch things with him now, in his time in Atlanta, he did not study tape. He did not study. We saw what he did on the Eagles when he finally put that aspect into his game. think what you want of Michael Vick and his off the field issues, but those 2 years that he was the starter for the Eagles, he lit it up, man. But the Falcons could never get, even all those years with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, they had Michael Turner at running back. They've always had talent, but they've never been able to put it together.
Devontae Freeman in the backfield.
Yeah.
That defense was hyped too. I mean, John Abraham, former New York Jet, was drafted by the Jets, but went on in free agency to the Falcons and starred for them for so many years too. So it had their share of players have come through that system, that have come through that team, their franchise, and just for whatever reason, we know about that absolutely monumental collapse they had in Super Bowl 51.
Yeah,
we only it's not it's there's no reason to bring it back, but they know, absolutely know, and I just Falcons fan, talk to me. Talk to me. How you doing? How are we doing today? How are we doing? And it doesn't get any easier. They're playing the Commanders this week, who absolutely spanked the Raiders on Sunday. With Marcus Mariota as their quarterback.
And I think Marcus Mariota has proven, did he become what we thought he was going to be coming out? No, but he is the definition of a good backup quarterback in the league. If there's injuries, Marcus Mariota can come in, prove that he still has some skills, and win a couple games for you. And you know, he could do that this week with that talent around him. He absolutely could.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's saying the Panthers looked like world beaters. The game was ugly and it was horrible. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think they had it on any of the screens at the factory.
Oh man, it was one of those games that watching Red Zone, you didn't see much of it. You didn't see much of it.
No. I think at the factory on the quad box, the big TV and at the end.
Yeah.
They had Steelers and Patriots. They had them on a bunch of TVs, and they had I was streaming the Jets game from my phone because DirecTV. I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible. DirecTV screwed them after the whole Fox dispute, contract dispute. They can't play Fox or any of the Fox stations there. Which sucks. So I had to cast it on my phone to to a television from my phone with my Fubo account, and then. But yeah, none of the TVs that, from what I remember, had Falcons and Panthers. Not that there's any Panthers or Falcons fans in this area that would care, unless you're a transplant from those areas. But yeah, this is not a fun game to watch especially if you're an Atlanta fan. If you're a Carolina fan, hey, you gotta win. Good for you. First win of the year.
Yeah.
If you have more wins than both New York Metro teams combined. Awesome job.
Oh man.
All right, we're gonna move on to the biggest disappointment of the week. And I'm gonna lead off here. The Broncos.
Ooh.
Broncos offense, particularly Bo Nix. Chargers, to their credit, their defense did a solid job. They contained Bo Nix all day. Didn't look very promising in the first half for the Chargers, but they held the Broncos in check in front of their fans. I think it was about 40% Broncos fans at SoFi on Sunday. Yes, you are Jets West. You are Jets West. And again, why'd you move out of San Diego? Had a great thing going. Anywho, let's back to the game. Chargers defense, they sacked Nix twice. He only threw for 151 yards. But when they needed Bo Nix to pick up the Broncos to win the game for the second consecutive week, he did not deliver. Because remember last week in crunch time against the Colts, they were up. Bo Nix throws an interception, which leads to a field goal, which got the Colts within one. Well, actually, I'm sorry, within two of the Broncos, and then the Colts go on to win the game. They get a stop on defense. They get the ball back. They get the field goal, walk it off. They beat the Broncos by one. This week, the Broncos had the ball tied at 20 with 2:37 remaining. This was after their defense allowed a touchdown by Justin Herbert, man. As a side, if I were to put to a vote today, Justin Herbert would be league MVP.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, over Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the fact that they've beaten the first 3 games of the season, they've beaten division opponents. They are currently in the driver's seat in the AFC West. They're 3-0 overall, but most importantly, they're 3-0 in the division. And they still got to play these teams 3 more times each. So, as an aside, Justin Herbert, he's my league MVP so far after 3 weeks. Getting back to this game. Broncos had the ball, tied at 20, 2:37 remaining. Offense goes 3 and out. And that third down play, Bo Nix is throwing the ball deep to Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton gets behind his defender. I think Derwin James was covering him, if I remember correctly, from the highlights. Bo Nix overthrows him. That was a short touchdown. Absolutely, that was a short touchdown by Bo Nix. But Bo Nix just lets it go a little early, puts too much oomph in the football, and Chargers get it back. Justin Herbert does Justin Herbert things for the second consecutive drive. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, kicks the game-winning field goal. They walk it off. Chargers are 3-0. Not only on the overall record, but in the division. They are in the driver's seat. Denver, their defense is great. This offense has to figure it out quick.
Yeah.
And to their credit, the running game worked this week. I criticized the Broncos at the beginning of the season. I said they didn't have much of a running game, but J.K. Dobbins run for 88 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. And
had a pretty good game. But man, Bo Nix he disappointed me. I thought this guy was a stud last year. And in the first 2-3 weeks of the season, particularly the last 2 weeks, he hasn't shown me a whole lot, especially in crunch time. So he's that team, especially him, they're my biggest disappointment this week. How about yours, Dustin?
Well, for mine, and I'll keep it relatively brief because your biggest upset involves my biggest disappointment. So I'll keep it going. Okay. But it's got to be the Atlanta Falcons for me. It's getting late early for them. Thanks, Yogi. I picked.
Yeah, he passed away. How many years ago today? He passed away today.
Today. Jeez.
Yeah, let me check my memories real quick. Hang on 1 second. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I picked the Falcons to win their division on our preview show based off the talent that they had, as we just discussed in the last segment.
Wow. Been 10 years.
Wow. But, oh, man, 10 years since Yogi. It doesn't seem like that.
Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
No. But it's looking like a terrible pick, like the rest of my picks, which we'll get to in a later segment. I mean, the Packers laid an egg on Sunday, to be sure, but the Falcons got completely shut out by a divisional opponent. Yeah. That's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. Atlanta's offense couldn't get anything going. Bijan ran a bit, but none of it led to points. Parker Romo, who they cut Younghoe Koo. So Parker Romo is the kicker now. He missed 2 field goals. Penix threw that horrible interception that you mentioned, plus another one. And I thought their defense would be better under Raheem Morris because he's a defensive-minded coach. I thought he'd get it going in Atlanta. Carolina's defense played well, and this was just a bad game by the Falcons. Yeah. And they had an opportunity to take control in their division or try to gain a game on the Bucs. They didn't do it, man. That was bad.
Yeah, especially how the Bucs almost blew it themselves.
Yeah.
And that NFC South, man, woof.
Yeah, that's bad.
Buzz your girlfriend. Woof.
Well, and that bodes well for my Seahawks because guess what's 2 divisions the Seahawks are playing on their schedule this year, and they've already started.
The NFC South. Yeah.
As well as the AFC South. So it could be good. That could be good for my Hawks.
Now, Dustin, got a surprise for you.
Oh, all right.
Let's end this segment with a bang. Hercules, take it away.
Disappointed!
Oh, man, that's one of my favorite clips. Oh, I love that thing.
I thought to myself, you know what? I gotta make something for this. And I actually came up with this first. The rabbit of disappointment. I thought of that first. The rabbit of disappointment.
That's pretty good.
In you. But I remember last week you talked about Hercules going disappointed.
Yeah.
And I know it. I said, you know what? I gotta get that clip.
Did you ever hear the supposed origin story of that, which Kevin Sorbo vehemently denies, by the way? And if you bring it up, he's going to get mad. So basically, what the reason that he supposedly did that is because in the script he wakes up in a world that is not his own.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
in parentheses, it supposedly said disappointed because that's how they wanted him to read the line. But he read the parentheses part and just screamed disappointed. Now, like I said,
it was fully ad-libbed, and it kept it in the show. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. All right, we gotta go to the comment section real quick. Julie from Michigan saying, "Hello, gentlemen. Go Lions!" Dan Cruz from Ton to BS saying, "Go Hawks." He also says, "Biggest frauds of the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs."
Dan's gonna bring the heat.
He also says, "Frauds in the NFC, the Rams. Good God, they had that game and won in Philly." Talk about that top of the show, Dan. You want to check that out. The pink can of Sapna showing up in the chat saying, "Sports ball!" And Dan says, "What a great reference." And Desi saying, the Hercules clip. It was inspired by Dustin, okay? Like, he gets the credit. I just find the clip and load it up in StreamYard, and away we go. All right, we're going to take our one and only commercial break, and we're going to go to, let me get the image here real quick. Where are you? Come on. I'll get to the ad read in just a second. I'm trying to find the...
Cut Ryan some slack, everybody. He's doing both the production side and he's actually on the show. Whereas I just get to show up, shiny face and all, and speak.
There we go. All right. Righteous Felon is our affiliate sponsor for this episode of No Credentials Required. Again, this episode is fueled by Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, the outlaw of the snack world since 2011. Forget the gas station stuff. This jerky is all natural, low sugar, and absolutely packed with flavor. Every 2-ounce bag delivers 20 grams of protein made with beef that has no added hormones, no antibiotics, and no shady business. But jerky's just the beginning. Righteous Felon's lineup also includes beef sticks for on-the-go snacking, tender turkey jerky that's light but still packs a punch and tastes like a Thanksgiving meal, an authentic South African-style biltong that melts in your mouth. Their flavors range from savory classics like OG Hickory and Victorious BIG, which is their honey bourbon, to spicy kicks like Habanero Escobar and Carolina Reaper. So whether you want smooth, smoky, or fiery heat, they've got you covered. And don't forget, they even got Wild Ranger dog treats so your four-legged sidekick can join the snack game too. Head over to righteousfelon.com, use promo code NOCREDS at checkout, and score 15% off your order. Plus, when you spend over $50, shipping is free. Righteous Felon Craft Jerky, where flavor is the crime and you're guilty of enjoying every bite. Again, 15% off your order at checkout with promo code NOCREDS and free shipping for every order over $50. Fantastic deal. And also, those dog treats, they're approved by Pickles.
They are. I have to re-up some for him for the next time he comes here. So I'll be ordering after the show.
Yeah, my friend Sean there and his wife Brittany, they had to unfortunately take their dog Logan, who's a pit. He's like a pit shepherd mix. Mm-hmm. Sweetest dog ever. We hung out a bunch in when I went to Atlanta. He had to have surgery because they got cancer. So I was going to send a little.
Jeez.
I was going to send a little care package of the Wild Ranger dog treats his way because he's now a tripod.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, just rename him Champion.
Yeah, yeah.
Parks and Rec reference.
Speedy recovery to Logan out there.
Yeah, Sean sent a picture the other day. He's doing good. He's getting used to be a tripod. But yeah, Logan's a good boy. He's the goodest boy. One of the goodest boys I've ever met in terms of dogs. One goes saying commercial ball. And yes, but yes, Julie wrote, use promo code BellyUpSports for 10% off your order. Nope. We are now an affiliate of Righteous Felon. So you want to use promo code NOCREDS for 15% off your order. And again, promo code, you get $50 off. You get $50. Sorry. Put $50 of merch in your cart. You get free shipping. So you can combine the promo code and the free shipping. Get your savings. Get those savings in that. Get yourself some good jerky. All right, let's move on to the most notable performances of Week 3 of the NFL, and I'll have you start here, Dustin.
All right,
your most notable performance or performances of Week 3.
For the rest of the show, you're going to notice a theme to my picks here, but. For me, there was one person that stood out, and sorry, Wonko, it was that absolute stomping of the Bengals that the Vikings did, and a part of it was Vikings cornerback Isaiah Rodgers. He had 2 forced fumbles, one of which he returned for a 66-yard touchdown, and another interception, which I believe was, 89 yards returned for a touchdown. He was on fire, and on the one play, he just took the ball from Ja'Marr Chase, I believe. The Vikings came to play in this one. Julie said it in the Discord, and I agreed with her. Carson Wentz actually looked better than expected. It was a little strange. But the Vikings came ready to play in this one, and Jake Browning, he didn't look too good. He and the Bengals, they just couldn't get it going. To quote one of my favorite lines from a video game ever, the great Bill Walton, this is the time where you get an early ejection and just go back to the hotel. That's what the Bengals should have done for this game.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Man, but what a defensive performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me do a little time research on Isaiah Rodgers here.
All right. Rodgers.
I thought he was suspended last year for doing the online.
Oh, the betting. He might have been. I think now that you're saying that, I think you.
No. Oh. Wait, hang on. Yeah, in 2023, he was suspended. He was suspended for the entire season, and then actually was on the Eagles last year. Signed with the Vikings 2 years, $15 million in the off season. So, and the fact that Carson Wentz got the start and Rodgers' performance outshined, Carson Wentz. It got so bad that they put in Max Brosmer.
Oh man!
The Vikings put in Max Brosner to mop up the game. And Julie's saying, it was so weird. Like, who was that? Carson Wentz? Yeah, it was Carson Wentz. One time North Dakota State Bison quarterback. I think they showed a picture of him. Somebody on social media shared a picture of Carson Wentz as like a 15-year-old or 16-year-old sitting at US Bank Stadium, and at US Bank Stadium at the Vikings game. And he played this week. Threw 2 touchdowns. So good for him.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz. All right. My most notable performance, I'm hoping Julie's still around. The Detroit Lions defense.
Yeah.
What a performance on Monday night. And yes, they allowed 30 points. He said, well, why are you awarding them? Why are they your most notable performance? They allowed 30 points to the Ravens. Okay. Technically, they allowed only 24. because of that one garbage time touchdown. But they got after Lamar Jackson in this game.
They did.
7 sacks. 7 sacks, and they forced a key turnover from Derrick Henry, which 3 fumbles in 3 weeks by Derrick Henry, man. Ooh,
Yeah.
I could spell trouble if you're Baltimore. But this is Baltimore. I think they're the default winner of the AFC North because Cincinnati is crap right now.
Yeah.
Brown's going to Brown, and the Pittsburgh Steelers just kind of doing their own thing. But it's still amazing that Cincinnati and Pittsburgh are tied for first currently in that division. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, they got after Lamar Jackson in this game. Didn't force any turnovers from Lamar Jackson. Didn't make him throw any interceptions, although he did have a fumble, which got recovered by his team. But they forced Derrick Henry they punched the ball out of Derrick Henry's hand. Got the turnover, which led to points. Then they forced a 3-and-out on the same Ravens offense. And the next offensive series, the Lions scored the dagger that put them up 14 with a few minutes left in the game. And yes, the Ravens scored a touchdown late. They missed conversion, so it's 38-30. And I don't know if they had an onside. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know if they had tried an onside kick and the Lions recovered, or they just didn't bother kicking the ball. They just kicked the ball and tried to do it themselves. But man, Detroit's defense, they stood out in this game. 7 sacks on Lamar Jackson. And I'm not sure if is that the most times he's been sacked in a game?
I don't know for sure, but I would have to say yes, because I was about to say, Ryan, the reason that you shout out the Detroit defense for that performance, 7 sacks is a great performance against any quarterback. But the fact that it was against Lamar Jackson, that doesn't happen to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league at escaping situations like that. He is mobile. He is, I heard Stephania Bell refer to him on the 06010 Fantasy Focus as one of the most slippery quarterbacks in the NFL. And I would agree. I would agree with that. This does not happen to him. He usually is able to evade the sacks. So whatever the lines, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson, obviously, he had himself a game. But, man, what a performance by this Lions defense.
Yeah, and I did look it up. The Steelers did sack Lamar Jackson 7 times in 2021.
Oh, okay.
The game in 2021. Wow. So yes, and there's also been a couple of games where he's been sacked 5 times, but this is the first time since 2021 that he's been sacked 7 times. So he just got in his face all night, man. Dan from the Time BS podcast saying, "Thanks, Baltimore, for your defensive coordinator." And Julie said that the Lions did recover the onside kick. So thank you, Julie. I knew you watched that game. And Wonko's saying in the chat, I meant to get to this. Yeah, rest in peace to the ex-Bengals and I think Lions quarterback. I think it was Rudy Johnson who passed away today.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, he passed away. I was trying to remember. Was it Rudy Jackson or Rudy Johnson?
I think it was Rudy Johnson, if I'm remembering correctly.
Rudy Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
But he passed away. He passed away today. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. They didn't release the immediate cause of death. At least it doesn't say on Yahoo. The Bengals did confirm his passing, but they did not say what he passed away from. It's none of our business, really. So
yeah.
But it's sad. He's only 45 years old. That's young.
No, that is much too young.
Yeah. And Julie's saying that she definitely watched and loved every second of last night's game.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, Julie, because we're going to talk about it briefly in the next segment. But I had one of the most stress-free games I've had in a while watching my team this week. So
I have not.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny when the Jets blocked that field goal and took it back for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. I got a text from a friend of the show, Gaz, because we had a wager going.
Oh yeah.
He wrote to me, and I'll bring up the
thread,
the text that he sent to me. He wrote, "What the hell is happening?"
I tweeted. I asked him what kind of wings he was going to get because I felt so bad. I was rooting for you, especially. All right, confession time. I was watching Red Zone. I get a text. There's a bike that I was looking to get rid of. My village where I live has a heavy item pickup day that you can register for. I registered for it, got rid of a bunch of stuff. My sister goes, "No, keep that bike. I want to take it." And I'm like, "All right, well, you better take it. Like, I want it out of here." And so finally, she and my brother-in-law came to get the bike. And so I didn't see the beginning of the momentum swing in the Jets game. And so then by the time they got here, the game was over. And my brother-in-law, Nick, who is also a Jets fan, he asked me, he goes, "How'd the Jets do? I saw they were losing." I said, "Well, actually, they came back, made a game of it. They stormed back. They blocked a kick and took the lead by a point, but they left the Bucks too much time." And he just kind of rolled his eyes and shrugged.
Yeah, he's embraced the suffering too.
Oh yeah.
Also, most notable in the most notable performances section, we got to talk about Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and the Indianapolis Colts real quick. He's already earned $300,000 in bonuses under his 1-year deal. He receives $100,000 for each regular season win in which he plays at least 50% of the snaps.
Wow.
Colts are 3-0. He's got an extra $300,000 in his pocket.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go, Indy.
Good job. Good job, Indy. All right, our biggest individual takeaways from week 3, and I got to address something here. I got to address the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud. Is the bloom starting to come off the rose that is named CJ Stroud? And we're seeing his regression in real time, which is going to be studied. Some are correlating it to him, and there's a meme out there from last year when the Texans played the Bears, and he and Caleb Williams met at the logo, and CJ Stroud told him he told Caleb Williams he's gonna be a hell of a player in this league. Since then, CJ Stroud has thrown 19 touchdowns and thrown 14 interceptions. Now, after last year, remember they fired their offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick.
Yeah,
we saw Bobby Slowick was mentioned as a hot commodity as in the head coaching, and as a possible head coach. He got fired. For what D'Amico Ryans stated, head coach D'Amico Ryans stated, he said that there's a lack of offensive production. Too much. The play calling became too predictable, so that's why they let him go. They bring in Nick Caley from the Rams. He was their tight ends coach and passing game coordinator last season, and he was brought in to fix whatever issues that CJ Stroud was having, fix whatever issue the offense was having. They're currently averaging 12.7 points per game. They have not crossed the 20-point thresh mark this season. And we're 3 games in. They are currently 0-3.
Yeah.
And Stroud,
in that division, I mean, they had the chance to seal it early.
Yeah. I mean, that division is terrible. It's already terrible as it is, but we're seeing the emergence of the Indianapolis Colts with Daniel Jones at quarterback. I mean, good for them, but I mean, CJ, if you're a Houston Texans fan, what are you thinking today? Now, we got to figure things out. Stroud has 2 passing touchdowns. He's got 3 interceptions. But what is the problem? Is it play calling? Is it low-end offensive line? Is the low-end offensive line in front of them? Because remember, they traded Larry Tunsil to Washington after last season, which, again, a head-scratcher. It was a total head-scratcher because he was clearly their best offensive lineman. Is the fact that his primary target from last season, Tank Dell, is still on the mend from a knee injury from his knee getting destroyed in Week 14 last year? whatever the reason is, that the Texans better figure it out quick, or else CJ Stroud's career is going to continue to decline from here on out. I mean, don't forget, remember, 2023 had an incredible rookie season, led the Texans to the playoffs, got him a home game in the first round, got beat by the Ravens. They took the Ravens to 3 quarters and then had a collapse. Same thing last year. Hosted the Chargers, beat the Chargers, went to Kansas City, played the Chiefs tough, but they couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And Kymie Fairbairn's game went to hell in that game. But this is concerning if you're a Houston Texans fan, because you got to wonder, their defense is very good. Their defense is one of the best defenses in the league, if not in the conference, the AFC conference. But man, this offense is just awful right now. And you can't automatically point the fingers at CJ Stroud. But his games, I don't know what it is, if it's play calling, if it's the offensive line in front of him, if it's the fact that he's bereft of weapons at his disposal at receiver. Something's going on, and they got to figure it out quick, because if I'm CJ Stroud and they have a bad season this year, I'm thinking trade. Get me out of here. And I hope the Jets come calling.
Oh man, what a QB that would be. And I mean, a little look at how the sausage is made. You and I discussed this briefly via text on Sunday because you brought up the question. I think it might be a little bit of new coordinator, offensive line to be sure, because like I said, getting rid of Laremy Tunsil. Why would you do that? But the other thing is, he doesn't really have a run game right now. As much as I love Nick Chubb and have him come back from injury, he doesn't have it right now. Damon Pierce has not been the answer. They just can't get a running game going, and that hurts as well. I mean, Joe Mixon bailed him out somewhat last year because he had a pretty good season for the Texans, but I think part of it is on Stroud, part of it is new coordinator, part of it is offensive line, and part of it is there's no running game to speak of right now in Houston.
Yeah. Well, I've said my piece. That's my biggest takeaway. Dustin, what's yours?
All right. Well, I rarely do this because I'm as guilty as anybody of focusing on offense and quarterbacks and receivers and everything else. And it's easy, especially in today's game, which is so driven on fantasy football and points and betting, sports betting. Everybody does it. But here's the thing. To win a football game, it's cliche, but you need all 3 phases of the game to be functioning at a high level. And this week, more than any week in recent memory, prove that. You need defense and special teams. Often, special teams is the most forgotten man in a football game. But defense was key to dominant performances. I'm looking at you, Browns defense. I'm looking at you, Vikings defense. I'm looking at you, Panthers defense. And special teams led to some massive shifts in the NFL. Can we talk about, the Jets blocking that Bucks kick and almost coming back for the win? Can we talk about the some of the driving force behind the Eagles' comeback against the Rams was due to special teams, the blocked kicks that you talked about. And the block kick also was the icing on the cake for the Eagles' victory. And also, you didn't think I was going to go the whole episode without referencing it, did you? Tune in to Dan and I doing the post-game show, the rapid reaction to the Seahawks win. But special teams played a huge role in the Seahawks' dominance of the Saints. Because if you look at that game, both Spencer Rattler and Sam Darnold threw for 218 yards. It's just their game looked a lot different because the Seahawks got off to a hot start with special teams. Torrey Horton's 95-yard punt return for a TD. That's the first time that's happened in Seahawks history since 2015. So don't forget about special teams. Don't forget about defenses. They are crucial to win the game. And also, we must mention the Lions defense, which Ryan talked about in depth. Don't forget about defense and special teams. They are needed. Yes, we all like to focus on offense. I'm as guilty of it as anybody. Usually, if a running back goes off, that's my most dominant performance because I love running backs, and I'm guilty of it. But I wanted to shout out the defense and the special teams this week.
Yep. There you go. There you go. Yes, special teams are special for a reason.
Yes, they are.
That needs to be merch.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to the comment section real quick. Desi saying that the Jets game aged me. Man. Look, I'm 48, but in football years, I'm 128. I'm 126. But she did say that she enjoyed the Seahawks game.
That was a stress-free game.
Julie saying that Jonathan Taylor had a monster game for the Colts. Great for me in fantasy, honestly. She's busting on CJ Stroud's chops, saying that he's from Ohio State. That's the problem. No, that's not the problem. Come on, Julie. He's from California. That's the problem. Kevin Wilson joining the chat. Your fellow Seahawks Sessions co-host in the chat. He also enjoyed the Seahawks game, and he did mention it's the longest punt return in Seahawks history on Sunday. So,
yeah, it's crazy.
Huzzah.
It's crazy. And you'll get his thoughts on this Friday's show on Seahawks Sessions. To be sure, he couldn't join us for the rapid reacts, but that's kind of a wild card. You never know who you're going to get. It's either going to be Dan by himself, Dan and Kevin, Dan and me, Kevin and me. You never know.
Never know. All right, we're going to talk about the Cut the Breaks challenge, Pick'em challenge. Our results from Sunday. So let's go.
Cut the breaks. Wild card, bitches. Yeah!
All right, so here's how it went on Sunday. I picked the Steelers and the Chargers, which nailed both of them. That's close to getting a clean sweep and getting getting the bonus point. I was a minute and 49 seconds away. As for Dustin, he nailed his pick for the Colts. He did not nail his pick for the Green Bay Packers or the New England Patriots. So currently, I have 7 points. Dustin has 5, so I hold a 2-point advantage going into week 4 of our Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge for 2025. I'm very much looking forward to getting my Waterbury Jets jersey at the end of the season from Royal Retros, our affiliate sponsor for our Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge. Royal Retros, the king of throwbacks. Go to royalretros.com. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout. You get 15% off your order and free shipping for any order over $100. That was your update for the Cut the Breaks Pick'em Challenge.
Cut the breaks. Wild card, bitches. Yeah!
I said it to you. My picks are trash, but I would like it on record. That if the Patriots did not have fumbles in the red zone on 2 drives, if they're running back, if someone in New England who plays running back could hang on to the ball, it might be a different tune right now.
As I wrote in the comments section this morning on Snowman in the Morning, yes, Ramondre, it is you. It has always been you. It has been you. It's always been you since 2021. Forever and ever. Amen. All right, we're going to conclude our show with our favorite athletes. Actually, I should change this to athletes. Oh, shoot. I got it wrong. Did I get it wrong? No, I didn't. Oh, it's our favorite athletes to wear number 68. I forgot 60. We talked about 67 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Our favorite athletes to wear number 68. Dustin, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
Oh, man. Well, you called it on Saturday night show. For me, it was one pick. It was one pick, and I was surprised that you weren't going with this pick. But then I remembered who wore that number for you, and I said, okay, that makes sense. But for me, it's Jaromir Jagr. Come on. He's a legend. I would classify myself a casual hockey fan, and even I know the greatness of Jaromir. Jaromir, Hall of Famer, no question. Jaromir, his number's been retired by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jaromir, he's played for I think 9 different teams in the NHL, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think
let's do the real-time research.
I believe he's also second all time in points. I'm not sure what Ovechkin breaking the goal scoring record, if that changes anything, but he's got 766 career goals in the NHL, 1,155 assists, and 1,921 points. He is a Hall of Famer by any measure. That's his NHL career. Let's not say anything of his career outside the NHL, which he played during the lockout, and he just kept it going at various points. When he's not in the NHL, he just goes and plays for the Czech hockey team, a team over there. And there are rumors I was reading on the internet he may suit up at age 53 this year. And also, let's talk about, he is the fountain of youth. He keeps it going. And let's talk about his legendary haircut as well. Jaromir, number 68, the Hall of Famer by any measure, and a legend in his own mind, and perhaps many, many others, including me.
So let's talk about the teams he played for in the NHL.
All right.
Started his career at the Pittsburgh Penguins from 1990 to 2001. Signed with the Washington Capitals, played with them. Got traded to the New York Rangers in 2003, played with them till 2008. Then he did not. Let's see. There's a break in the action here, where he did not play in the NHL from 2009 through 2011. Then he came back to the NHL. Let's see here. Let me see. Who did he play with? He played in the Continental Hockey League with Avangard Omsk.
The KHL,
seasons,
right?
3 seasons in the KHL. So 3 seasons in the K. Came back to the NHL in 2011. Played a season with the Philadelphia Flyers. Went on to play with the Dallas Stars first season. Then he went to the Boston Bruins. My New Jersey Devils. Spent 2 seasons with them. Played with the Florida Panthers in 2017, and then finally ended his NHL career with the Calgary Flames in 2017-2018 season. There was a group of hockey fans at one time called the Traveling Jagrs, and they would all show up in mullet wigs wearing the jersey of every NHL team that he's played for. Oh, and as you mentioned, Dustin, yes, he has currently played. He has played with his home club, the Kladno Knights, since, let's see. Let's look what Wikipedia says. Since 2018. So he is believe he's the owner of the team, and he is he still plays with them. Mm-hmm. So, and in 2024, he became the oldest player to score a goal in professional competition, breaking Gordie Howe's record. He scored the last goal of his career at 52 years and 6 days. And Jaromir Jagr scored his at 52 years and 63 days. So, and as you mentioned, he might be coming back this year. This will be his 39th year of competition.
Man.
If he does play, he did play a couple of preseason games, but he was still without according to Wikipedia, he's still without a contract when Kladno played their first regular season game on September 10th, because in Europe they start very, very early because of the World Championships that take place in May. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Dustin. United States won the World Championship this year.
Ooh.
This past year.
All right.
On Memorial Day, no less.
Oh man. Hey.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. We're gonna get a special button up for this one. For my number 68. Homer alert. There it is.
Oh, it adds so much more to it now that I know you do it every time.
Yeah. My favorite number 68 from my New York, he played for my New York Jets. he's a legend in terms of linemen in the
Yeah.
in the NFL in the 2000s and the 1990s. Kevin Mawae, who actually started his career, he was drafted by your Seattle Seahawks, Dustin.
Yeah.
Played for them from 1994 to 1997. Did not wear number 68 until he arrived with the Jets because he wore number 52 as a member of the Seattle Seahawks. He signed with the Jets in 1998 and was part of that line that featured. That was him, and he anchored that line that paved the way for Curtis Martin for such a long time. And part of that great line. 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro on the Hall of Fame all 2000s team, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019 as part of the 2019 class that included such other luminaries as Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson. He was in that class, but he was an All-Pro in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 seasons. In 6 of his 8 seasons with the Jets, he was an All-Pro. Incredible. He was a Pro Bowler. Excuse me, he was a Pro Bowler. Was a 3-time All-Pro. His first All-Pro was in first team All-Pro in 1999. They repeated it in 2001. And as a member of the Tennessee Titans at 37 years old, he signed with the Tennessee Titans in 2006. And as a 37-year-old in 2008, he was an All-Pro. Also made the Pro Bowl that year. Incredible career. Played in 241 games, started 238 of them, and was just an outstanding force at that position. I actually when I played flag football, I wore number 68 and played center because Kevin Mawae was one of my favorite players from that Bill Parcells / Herm Edwards era of the New York Jets. And I forgot I'm not sure if I told you this. I won a signed Kevin Mawae jersey a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. You told me that you had won something else, another piece of Jets paraphernalia, but I did not realize it was that.
It was that. It's actually currently in one of my drawers in my dresser. I got to buy a box for it that can hang behind here.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
Behind here, and that'll be one of those knickknacks. So number 68, Kevin Mawae. Still waiting in the chat for Desi to give us number 68 from the Tide. And Kevin Wilson saying yes, Jaromir Jagr was awesome, no question. He played for Kevin's Dallas Stars, as well as my New Jersey Devils.
See, that was the thing. I was always hoping that Jaromir would find his way to the oil, but he never did. He never did.
Yep, and he's saying he's just a legend. Wonko's saying, great show. Thank you all. Go Hawks, go Reds. Still not a baseball guy, but fair is the current state of the weather. Yes, absolutely. Because in one of your predictions, Dustin, might come true.
It might. Most of them have been trash, but but this one might come true.
All right, that's enough of that.
That doesn't have a ring to it. It's not good.
Dustradamus.
It's not good.
All right, actually, one more thing before we get out of here. Dustin, why don't you briefly tell the folks at home about your fundraiser for Extra Life? Give it like under a minute.
I will. Ryan, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Everybody who listens to the show, you're going to get sick of me saying this, but Ryan's got the link in the description. Short answer, I will be playing games on November 8th for hopefully 24 straight hours. Why, you ask? Because I want to raise money for sick children at my local children's hospital, the Bernard and Millie Duker Children's Hospital at Albany Med. Go to www.extra-life.org. Search Dustin Henry. You will find me. If you want to join me on game day, I usually start, again, it's November 8th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be there for as long as possible. Not sure if I'll make 24, but I will try my best. You can watch me at Twitch twitch.tv/eldusto67. If you would like to get involved and you want to donate to my cause, that's great. If you can't donate to my cause, get the word out by a word of mouth or just watch and support. And if you would like to see what local hospital the Children's Miracle Network is affiliated with around you and donate to them, that's great too. They are affiliated with a lot of hospitals. 100% of your donation goes to sick children who need it. They do not take a percentage. And as Ryan has mentioned before, your donation is 100% tax deductible. Hope to see you all there. Thank you for the support.
All right, so there's a link in the description. There's Dustin's Twitch. Desi's saying no 68 this week. The 60s are rough, but she has a 69 ready.
Oh man, I got to get on the horse.
I have so many clever comebacks for that. Family show. All right, before we get out of here, we just want to remind you to please follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also check out our other podcasts and written articles. Shameless plug coming in just a moment on BellyUpSports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, our YouTube channel, and on Podbean, which is our host at Belly Up Sports. And also hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when the show goes live, when we have clips of the show, and we have general announcements. And Desi's saying, naughty Ryan. Sorry. Can't help it. Couldn't help. He said he had 69 ready, so I got to go through that door, young lady. All right. Oh, well, I forgot to mention shameless plug for articles. I did write an article yesterday. It was a reaction article to the Canadian Football League making some changes for 2026 and 2027. And my God, the argle-bargling on social media from people saying, I'm going to cancel my season tickets. There's too many changes. Argle bargle. And I just saw it. I was actually looking at social media and there's a tweet saying that I wonder how many people were upset that they changed the 25-yard end zones to 20 yards in 1986.
Oh,
gotcha.
Well, I was going to say, I knew what that article was about because I read it on my lunch break at work today.
Hey, look at that. Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We're presented by Belly Up Sports. Back here Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, not 8 o'clock Eastern time like last week. It's 10 o'clock Eastern time. I won't be retreating to the mountains. And on Monday will be the first live react stream as I watch and as you see my self-flagellation on screen, watch reacting to the New York Jets playing the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. I might do the same thing in I think October or November when the Jets play the Patriots on Thursday night. So we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see. But for this is my first time doing a live stream. My partner in crime for Just Endure the Suffering, Dan, gonna be out of town, heading up from Miami to Pennsylvania, so he'll be on his way on Monday. So he won't be able to do a show. But I said to myself, you know what? Let's do a live react during the football game. So I'm gonna be doing that. 7:15 is the game time start. So I'll be going live at 7:10 just to do a quick 5-minute BS session to talk about this game, what I expect, what I hope, and what I expect from the New York Jets in this game. So feel free to tune in. It'll be a YouTube exclusive. It'll be on YouTube only, not the other social media channels. So it'll be on YouTube. You can tune in, join in the chat, and watch as I slowly shrink into a potato, potentially on live, and it'll become a meme. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us. No Credentials Required. Back on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll talk about the Thursday night game, and we'll talk about we'll react to the Thursday night game. Then we'll talk about the rest of week 4, of the NFL. I'll rate the quarter point of the season. So, for Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Have a great week. We're back on Saturday. We hope to see you then.
Good night, everybody.